Hi, I'm Lisa from Lori's Country Cottage. Welcome to How Tuesday. Today we're going to learn how to figure out how much batting we need to buy when we're making our quilt. Join me. Today is video 3 of our 4-part series Simple Math for Quilters. We've already figured out how to work out how much fabric we need for borders and binding. Today is all about batting. We have an excellent how-to video that explains all the different battings, and if you don't know how to choose batting, I invite you to watch that how-to video. Once you've chosen your batting, you need 3 things. Again, you need to measure your quilt. We need the length and the width of your quilt, and we also need to know the width of the batting you have chosen. The most common widths are 96 inches, 108 inches, and 120 inches. When we talk about batting, we have to remember that whether we're quilting it at home ourselves on our domestic machine or bringing it in to have it long-armed, we need extra batting around the outside of our quilt, usually 3 to 4 inches. Now, when I work out the math for my quilts, I simply add 8 inches to my width, 8 inches to the length of my quilt, and I use those numbers for my calculations. But 8 inches is really generous if you're quilting at home on your domestic machine. So I've not done that on our calculation sheet, but I have made a note to remind you. So let's get to it. Let's figure out how much batting you need for your quilt. Let's look at how to calculate how much batting you need for your quilt. You need a few things. First, you need to determine the longest side or the length of your quilt. Then you need to decide which batting you're going to use, 90, 96, 108, or 120 inch wide batting. Here's the question. Will the longest side of your quilt fit on the width of your batting? And don't forget to allow extra for long arm quilting. Let me show you an example. Here's my quilt. It's 80 by 94. And my batting is 120 inches. The longest side of my quilt is 94 inches. Does it fit on the 120 inches of my batting with extra for quilting? It sure does. So all I need to do is buy the 80 inches, the width of my quilt. What if I wanted to use 96 inch wide batting? Here's the longest side of my quilt on 96 inch batting. There is not enough extra batting to allow for quilting. So if I want to use 96 inch wide batting, I lay my width on the batting. Now I have enough extra for quilting. I need to buy the full length plus extra of my batting. So if the longest side of my quilt fits on the width of my batting, yes, I only need to buy the width of my quilt plus extra. If the longest side of my quilt does not fit, no it doesn't, I need to buy the length of my quilt plus the extra or choose wider batting. Once I know how many inches of batting I need, whether it's my 80 plus extra or my 94 plus extra, I simply need to convert those inches into meters. The number of inches divided by 39 equals the number of meters of batting I need to buy. Thank you for joining me for video 3 of our how-to series on simple math for quilters, how to figure out how much batting you need for your quilt. I'll remind you that we have a great how-to video on choosing batting for every project. You'll learn all about the different battings and when they should be used. Video 4 of our series is how to figure out how much fabric you need for backing. There is so much information on figuring out fabric requirements for backing. We've broken it into several videos. I hope you'll join me for those upcoming How Tuesdays.